Chairman, I am Air Vice Marshal Ibrahim Umaru, representing the Nigeria People's Party, New Nigeria People's Party. We are not part of that walkout. Thank you very much. We are still here with you.
Good evening, sir. My name is Mohammed Kabir Umar. I'm here representing both party. We are here. I did not walk out, sir.
Who you want to talk again?
The woman.
Good afternoon, Chairman. Barrister Mrs. Ayatoba Juliet, supporting my colleague from PRP. You are seeing us live and direct.
Yes. My name is Williams Moses. I'm supporting my colleague here, YPP. We're here live and direct.
For us in the All Progressive Congress, we have confidence in the process, and we are here with you to see it through. We are not part of any boycott, walkout, or revolt as some have done. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, my name is Mohammed Dirisu Isa, NRM Collation agent. We are here with you. We are confident in the process. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Entirely APM. We are here with you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I'm Honorable Muhammad Nalado, National Chairman of Accord and representing Accord. We believe in the process and we are not working out. We are after one Nigeria and believe our coming together here to support Nigeria, that is what we stand for. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Verminde James, National Secretary, Action Alliance. We are with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Lagos is ready. May I invite the resident electoral commissioner of Lagos to introduce himself, and for the collation officer for Lagos to introduce herself and present the result. Rec Lagos.
Thank you, sir. My name is Olusegun Agbaje, Resident Electoral Commissioner, Lagos State.
Thank you. My name is Professor Adenike Oladije, the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Technology, Akure. I am the State Collation Officer for the presidential election of 25th February 2023 in Lagos State. And with me is Mr. Olusegun Agbaje, the Resident Electoral Commissioner for Lagos State. The results for the presidential election held on the 25th February 2023 in Lagos State are as follows. Number of registered voters 7060195. 7060195. Number of accredited voters 1347152. 1347152. Total number of votes received by the presidential candidates of each of the political parties are as follows. A. 3069. 3069. AA. 498. 498. AAC 1597. 1597. ADC 5789. 5789. ADP 2439. 2439. APC 572606. 572606. APGA 2316. 2316. APM 709. 709. APP 371. 371. BP 1837. 1837. LP 582454. 582454. NNPP 8442. 8442. NRM 609. 609. PDP 75750. 75750. PRP 1120. 1120. SDP 772. 772. YPP 1109. 1109. ZLP 9964. 9964. Total valid votes 127 1451. 127 1451. Rejected votes 64278. 64278. Total votes cast 1335729. 1335729.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Any cancellations?
Yes.
Places where elections were not held and reasons?
Yes, there were cancellations. There were 3 local government areas affected by overvoting, 3 registration areas, and 9 polling units. The total number of registered voters in these areas is 5584. 5584.
Okay, thank you very much. Any comments, party leaders? Any observations, any comments for the scope? Okay, thank you very much, Vice Chancellor. Please step forward to present your result. Is Gombe ready? Okay, so Gombe will be next. Okay. Okay, next is Gombe State. The resident electoral commissioner is here with the scope. Introduce herself, and the scope should introduce herself and present the result.
You start.
I am Umar Ibrahim, the resident electoral commissioner, Gombe State.
I am Professor Memuna Waziri, the Vice Chancellor, Federal University, Geshua. I am the State Coalition Officer for the presidential election of 25th February 2023 in Gombe State. Can I go ahead? Okay. The result for the presidential election held on 25th February 2023 in Gombe State are as follows. For Party A scored 284.
Before the party, total number of registered voters, total number of accredited voters, and then you go to votes scored by parties.
Okay, sir. The total number of registered voters, 157,5794. 157,5794. The total number of accredited voters, 542,997. 542,997. Now the votes received by political parties. Party A, 284. 284. Party AA, 296. 296. Party AAC, 158. 158. Party ADC, 1446. 1446. Party ADP, 765. 765. Party APC, 146,977. 146,977. Party APGA, 558. 558. Party APM, 348. 348. Party APP, 208. 208. Party BP, 210. 210. Party LP, 26160. 26160. Party NNPP, 10520. 10520. Party NRM 1061. 1061. Party PDP 319123. 319123. Party PRP 384. 384. Party SDP 137. 137. Party YPP 439. 439. Party ZLP 969. 969. That's all. Total number of valid votes 510043. 510043. Total number of rejected votes 23735. 23735. Total votes cast 533778. 533778. Thank you, sir.
Okay, any places where elections were not held or cancelled?
Yes, sir. The total number of cancelled votes 9640.
PVCs collected?
Yes, sir. The total number of PVCs collected 9640. And reasons, you asked for reasons?
Yes.
Reasons for cancellation, overvoting, disruption, and refusal to use beavers. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Any comments on the Gombe report? Okay, thank you very much. Please step forward to present your result. expecting a few more states, but they are not so close by like the last two. So I suggest that we take a break and reconvene at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Thank you very much. So let's go.
All right, the National Collation Center taking a break to reconvene at 8 o'clock, just after the presentation of two additional results, Lagos and Gombe. Gentlemen, let's start with Lagos. Impressions.
Lagos, the result is quite interesting in the sense that that's the home base of the standard bearer of the ruling party, APC, who goes by the name the Lion of Bodilon. Okay, so we expected that that should be his stronghold for him to win. But again, I think the place has a larger number of youths, and when you follow the campaign trend of the party that won, Labour Party, they seem to have the sentiment of the NSAS 2020. They believe that maybe the state did not handle the matter well as it concerns youth. So Labour Party was able to make a inroad there, and also the main opposition party, the PDP. I think the gap is too wide for the almighty PDP not to have come too close to any of those parties, both Labour Party and the APC. And again, a lot of factors had played. I had expected that maybe given the fact that they have over about 7 million voters, I was expecting maybe a party like APC or the winning party polling over above 1 million, because a good number of people collected the PVC. But the pockets of violence recorded in the state also affected the voter turnout or output.
Dr. Zakariaou.
Well, Lagos outcome has actually made us to understand one thing, that in politics there might be surprises. And this is very interesting in the sense that, Lagos State is a cosmopolitan state, whereby you have people from different backgrounds, different communities, forming that state. And the fact remains that when you look at the turnout, particularly most of the voters shown during the observation so far, you realize that a lot of youth actually came out. And as I had said, maybe the issue of NSAS, but not only about NSAS alone, it's about the fact that the youths, particularly in some part of other countries that are settled in Lagos, they might have spoken through their PVC. But we should not take away one fact, that the major stumbling block to the opposition party, which is PDP, is the Labour Party. And when you look at the figures so far, the APC did not perform badly, quote and unquote, but the major loser as far as this election in Lagos is concerned is the PDP, because most of the votes that could have gone to PDP, those votes actually went for Labour Party.
Is there any part of this that you could attribute to the split in the PDP, considering the role of Chief Bode George?
Well, Bode George is, of course, is a very strong PDP stalwart, but Bode George also has problem with the party on the candidature of Atiku Abubakar. Don't forget, Bode George might not join the G5, but his ideology happened to collaborate what the G5 was fighting for. Because Bode George too was part of the PDP stalwart agitating for power shift. And on that basis, he might, of course, as a PDP, but I could not see the handwork of some of the PDP stalwart in Lagos to deliver that party.
Right. Okay, Nick.
Yeah, I think this represents a massive upset for the APC candidate, who has always canvassed and even touted that the Southwest is a stronghold. Now it is very clear that his claim is very tenuous, because he has lost 2 major states in the Southwest, Osun, where he has filial connections, and Lagos State, where he installed the governor, and 2 also governors before now. So I think for me this represents a massive upset for him, and it amounts to a demystification of the so-called lion of Bodilon. And then I think this also is a reflection of the nature of Lagos as a very cosmopolitan state, and a state also that has a very large youthful population, and it also supports the kind of support, the massive support that the LP candidate received when he went to campaign. It shows that the support was not a fluke. It was genuine, it was real. And I think if you look at the figures, for the first time the LP candidate is getting a figure running into 500,000, you know, outside his own stronghold. And since this contest is about numbers as well, spread, this will amount to something. And I think the LP candidate has made a statement. Even if he doesn't win this contest, he has made a statement that will go into history.
Okay, then Gombe was also presented, the results from Gombe, and we see how it's done. Is this a change, or what was expected in Gombe?
It's not really a change, but rather it aligns with what was expected. But it's just that one would have also expected maybe higher figures. But again, you can attribute that to the Beavers as the game changer, okay? Because it ruled out what they now call overvoting, and maybe a situation wherefore one would have assumed that, given the fact that Gombe State is in the northeast, maybe there will be low turnout of voters. But the turnout is quite impressive, and also having Gombe State to be among the first group presenting today, wherefore other states that are in maybe a more severe zone are yet to turn in. So we give it to them that INEC has done quite well in Gombe.
Wow.
Yeah, like he has rightly observed, you know, initially I was talking about a synergy. And we should not forget the fact that apart from the electorate coming out to vote, we have to look at the role played by other agencies. And to be sincere, this particular election has been well policed, because effective policing to credibility of any elections can never be undermined. And we cannot take away the fact that this time around, the policing of the electioneering process, particularly at the stage of voting, it is quite commendable. And we need to give kudos to the IGP of Nigeria Police, because of the fact that, despite the fact that there were pockets of violence, but it's less than 3%, according to National Human Rights Commission. That tells you that there is an improvement. The military role is just to secure the country from external aggression and to be stationed strategically. But when you look at those that are at the various police units, they happen to be the policemen. That tells you the police officers and the other security agencies, they partner and collaborated, ensuring that there was a kind of credible election. Meanwhile, the outcome of Gombe, you know, it is surprising and not surprising, in the sense that right before the main election, there was a kind of political differences between the incumbent governor and the former governor, which is Goje, the Senator Goje. In fact, Goje wouldn't have gotten the ticket of Senate if not for certain intervention based on what we have read and gotten from the field. And we should not forget the fact that Dakwabo, the former governor, who later won the senatorial district in Gombe, happened to be a PDP stalwart. And based on the fact that the candidate of PDP is coming from the northeast, somebody like Dakwabo working in partnership with even Goje, they might not actually tell us, because I look at APC campaign during their presidential election. I could not cite, I'm not too sure if Goje or some other APC stalwart that were expected to be there participated. They kept mute, and that tells you that they might work behind the scene to frustrate the governor. But the ruling party, which is APC, also put a very good fight. Because when you look at the margin, you know, one would have expected what happened in, when you look at Ogun, or even Oyo State, that is a PDP ruling state. When you look at the margin between APC and PDP in Oyo, compared to what happened in Gombe, you can see that the APC in Gombe actually made a formidable fight, unlike what was obtainable in the Oyo presentation.
All right, Nick.
Yeah, I am not surprised by the outcome in Gombe. Gombe had always oscillated between the PDP and the APC, and I think two of his previous governors were won on the platform of the PDP. And when they were in office, they were formidable allies of the PDP candidate. I recall 1 or 2 rallies that he held in Gombe when the two governors held sway, Goje and Nkombo. So, and given the proximity of Gombe to his own Adamawa state, and the fact that he's from the northeast zone, it is to be expected that even sentiment will favor him in terms of his coming from that zone. And it has shown that he has a firm grip of the northeast, at least. He has shown good performance in Gombe, in Yobe. Adama is yet to be announced or presented, but I think that one is a foregone conclusion. So what is outstanding that we don't know or we cannot conjecture is Taraba, which is also in the northeast, and the governor is of the PDP. So we can, though the results have not been presented, I think he's going to do well, and that will reflect the fact that he too has a stronghold. So the 3 major candidates are strong in their own zones, and you can see also that they are making inroads into other areas. Atiku getting Oshun, and then because they don't have the requisite qualification to vote in that polling unit. Because if you are a registered voter and you registered in that polling unit and you have your PVC, then you should not shun or avoid the beavers. And there is no way also that you can go and vote without collusion by the officials in that polling unit.
I think if I may come in,
look
sir.
at just about how many, let's even assess that.
Yes.
About how many election officials do you expect at any polling unit?
4.
4.
A minimum of 4. The presiding officer and 3 assistant presiding officers.
Okay. Presiding officer and 3 assistant presiding officers.
Yes.
Minimum of 4.
Yes.
And that means for those 4,
yes,
they would have been sucked
because there's assistant presiding officer 1, 2, 3, and then the presiding officer himself, making 4.
Right. So they must be in concert.
That's what it
get
means.
this
The
done.
collusion.
Beyond that,
yes,
you have security agencies who are deployed to the polling units.
Yes.
But again, the law says it's only when the presiding officer draws their attention to a breach
Yes.
before they act. So it's quite possible that you have a security official who sees a breach taking place, but looks the other way and says,
looks
well,
the other way, or also colludes, or partakes.
This
isn't something wrong about that?
Well, this conspiracy theory, you know, it needs, though it's like an assumption that might actually need to be verified, but we should not forget the fact that, to me, based on my observations during the electioneering itself, during the voting, in some polling units, the manner in which people were arranged in terms of the queue, it was not done properly. So it created room for some quote unquote ignorant voters to boycott the so-called beavers and go straight to either the assistant polling unit and show the PVC, with the intention of that assistant polling unit officer thinking such candidates or such electorate might have been accredited. It happened in some places in, I think in FCT in Cuba, whereby, the crowd alone. So the officers there, they could not control the crowd.
They were overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. So it might, and some ignorant electorate in terms of they were not sufficiently, educated that basically for your vote to be counted, you must accredit. So they thought, after all, is it not to get the ballot paper?
I beg to differ.
But I saw...
You see, because by the time you come and set up the polling unit, the presiding officer is supposed to address the voters as to the procedure for voting. So he would have addressed them first before they started queuing to vote.
Voters have come late. It got to a point in some places, people went to watch Arsenal football match. They came back after 5, still joining the queue, which the law says once it is 2:30, they should close the queue, that nobody should join that queue. But
yes. But what if at that point in time there were still people behind them who had been on that queue before 2:30?
They should be allowed to vote.
Right.
But you don't allow any other person to join. But we saw situations whereby people went back to
okay. Let's demonstrate it practically. You have a queue of 350, and perhaps voting started, say, about 1 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Number 100 goes to watch a match. By the time number 100 comes back, number 80 is still in the queue and has not voted. And it's past 2:30. Would you stop number 100 from voting?
In that case, in order to avoid unnecessary chaos, you have to apply discretion by allowing them to join the queue.
All right, at this point in time, let's return to the National Collation Center, where Fisayo Ogunfuyi is standing by. And, right, Fizo, what can you tell us so far?
On my right, of course, is Mohamed Lawal Nalado, National Chairman Accord Party. Thank you for, granting us this time, because we know, of course, you have a busy schedule. And you are also, former Chairman IPAC. And of course, here also is Yusuf Dantele, National Chairman APM, and current Secretary of IPAC as well. Thank you for joining us. Now, it's been an eventful day so far. We've seen a walkout by two parties. We've seen your party as well as others come out to say you are not a part of that. First of all, just tell us about how the day has unfolded and your impressions of what has happened so far.
Thank you. Good evening, Nigeria. First, we all have our different interests, but what we must look at is the interest of Nigeria. We must have a country before we have a political party. We must have a country before we run for election. In as much as we have our reservations about some things, okay, what is important is to look at what will be the effect of our action on the masses. There are various ways we can channel whatever discontent we think we have. But I have tried to see how we can do this thing, but not that way, not by working hard. You understand? No system is perfect. The INEC, the electoral body, have tried to do the best they can here. Yes, some things must have happened elsewhere, which some of us know that is not done well, but it's not the best way to handle it. We don't need to handle it through crisis. My fear is Nigeria come first before anything. So that is why we have to see how we can do this as diplomatic as possible.
Accord Party, what is your stance and, in terms of events unfolding here at the International Conference Center, the National Collation Center?
No, I am on the same page with Alhaji Dantele, the National Chairman of APM. And that is exactly what I said. We cannot, get what we want if there is no country in Nigeria. So anything we are going to do, and there are rules and regulations covering all this kind of, these things we are doing here. There are, provisions of registering your grievances if you have any, not through violence. If you go violent, what will be the effect on the masses? This is our concern. That's why we have to come out and support INEC to the letter, to make sure that the results are announced and Nigerians should have confidence in whatever the result comes out. If you have any objection, there are ways, provided by the law, to register your grievances. So why should somebody come and stage a walkout? If you stage a walkout, Nigerians will believe that there is no transparency, there is no, truth in what we are doing. So they can go violent, and it is going to affect our country. And we cannot be party to anybody that is trying to, create chaos that will divide Nigeria or even destroy Nigeria at all.
All right, and let me let you,
Yes,
add before I go back to
this. Earlier before the walkout, when we noticed some things, as the Secretary of Interparty Advisory Council, we try to represent the interests of all political parties, and then at least we are the bridge between other political parties and INEC in our own way. So we discussed with INEC. This area, that area, this area, why is this like that? Why are this? So we got some explanations, okay, even though it will not be 100% satisfactory. But these things are noted. Maybe in the next dispensation, the Electoral Act will still be reviewed. But we must have a country first. Some of these areas are INEC, they are all members of the commission, staff of commission. They are indigenous of Nigeria. I don't think they want their own country to burn or to be on fire. So they took note of some of these things. Then we will discuss with political parties and INEC. We'll come together again, look at this, here this happened, that this was not envisaged. Therefore, is superhuman.
All right, you are former chairman IPAC as well, apart from now still being the current chairman of Accord Party. If you were to juxtapose other election cycles, which culminated, of course, in the presidential elections, where have you got it right, where have you got it wrong as far as this is concerned?
Well, you see, the thing differs from individuals. We know, I have been in the political cycle for a very long time. I was there when the, card reader was introduced. Before card reader, there were a lot of crises, a lot of, calls for, sanitizing electoral process in Nigeria. And the idea of card reader came on. We saw the sanity improvement in the electoral process. Then after a while, people started sabotaging and maneuvering how to do the card reader. Now a new idea came up with this present innovative leadership of INEC. They introduced beavers. Beavers is being put on tests in a larger capacity for the first time. So if we see anything that are lapses, we should not take it as a way of, or maybe INEC is trying to play a game with Nigerians. No, definitely they are machines, and you can expect no 100% perfection from it. So I think I am convinced and satisfied with the process.
All right, we'll resume
and, you see, okay.
No, go ahead, please. Just I want you to land, then I go to Aji.
What impressed me most is, you see, President Muhammad Buhari, though the election is not, it has not been brought to the national. But I am from Katsina State, and I know what went in Katsina. Definitely, we know the ruling party lost in so many places where the Mr. President comes from, And the same report came to us that the national chairman of the APC lost in his own state. So, and look at what is the result we'll get from Lagos State, where the presidential candidate of APC came from. So I don't think there should not be any thinking of, rigging of election. We should be mindful of what we are doing. If I want to rig, I will go to where I feel I have strength to rig.
Okay, let's your projected it. We are going. We're returning at 8 o'clock. If you were to advise the election management body moving forward in terms of these announcements and all, we've seen, some scope. Come forward, especially the ladies, present with so much panache. There was no problem, no objection. Moving forward, How do we go through this area, I mean these announcements of results and all that, and the entire process to make it seamless and from the perspective of the parties?
You see, as political parties, we have, this is a process. And then we know the person of Professor Mahmoud Yakub and the building up to this point. Is somebody we believe in, we have confidence in what Mahmoud has put in place. Every political party have confidence, and we gave him our support when we noticed something. When they took Mahmoud to court over some fictitious allegations, we all came out as political party, all political parties, to support him. So if there are misnomer or there are observations, I think we can still sit down and review it, but not to truncate this at the expense of the country. At the moment, we can discuss.
All right, we've been seeing results and all that. It looks as do you see us going in for a long night, or in terms of your expectation as well as your experience? Are you expecting a long night, or are we still going into day 3, 4, 5, 6?
I won't say that is for the commission, but we are prepared to be here to monitor the result and the collection of results. So we'll be here as long as the process continues.
All right, finally, before I let you go, I understand that, of course, so many of our activities we are seeing on the floor right now. But from the perspective of all of you, parties on the ballot at this time, and we have come to this process, what will be your word to political parties as well as the election management body as we move forward, as the Nigerians wait for results to continue to come in, and then eventually when the winner will be announced?
Well, so far so good. We political parties have some maturity. When 2 political parties out of the 18 registered political parties decided to stage a walkout, the other 16 consolidated and came together to make sure that we cooperate with the electoral body, in making the process peaceful. Once there is no respect or agreement or misunderstanding between the political parties and the electoral body, I think Nigerians will start to ask questions.
I've just been informed that Nigerians still want to hear a bit more from you, from some of the calls we've gotten from the headquarters, that you have seen the processes and you've heard from your agents from across the country.
Yes.
So what are the feelers, for instance? Because we had, objections on the floor earlier on. Is it that the agents did not communicate to the party's headquarters? In your case, what was your experience like?
No, in my own political party, we did not experience anything bad. That is why we did not criticize anything. And I believe, like I said earlier, we believe the process was very good. And if you look at the incidences of violence recorded in 2019, it's far less than what we are seeing in this process. Nigerians should thank God that we have a very good and able leadership, of the electoral management that have, listened to the cries of Nigerians to introduce, system that will make the election to be more acceptable. More acceptable and free and fair.
You have seen the beavers work now. It was roundly commended when it was deployed in Osun and Ekiti State. What could have been the problem? Is it familiarity with it? Was it deployed at a larger scale?
Nobody is talking about beavers here. The beavers as an innovation is very commendable by everybody, but politicians that we will always try to beat the system. When we do this, somebody will advance to do something different. Because it's not about beavers. Nobody is complaining about beavers, that beavers fail. No, that is not the problem. And there are some things that at this point is not supposed to come public. I won't say that, but the problem is not the beavers. No.
Okay, so but moving forward, how do we learn from this? How do we learn from this in terms of maybe timelines, deployment, and some of the, the chain, in terms of distribution that we perhaps experienced over the weekend?
It will be difficult at this moment to sit and begin to profess solutions, okay, to a problem that is so complex that we see. So we won't be able to do that now. It's something that how long it took for us to have this electoral act amended. So it's not something that we can say and say, okay, we are going to do this or something like that should be done. I think we'll be lying to ourselves. It's something that has to take a process.
Because we have another election in the next 2 weeks. Is there anything we can do moving forward, or do we still go through the same thing next weekend?
Right in this hall, I have communicated. I'm communicating with political parties so that we have meeting at IPAC level to take a position on what is happening. But for us to begin to say anything here now, it will be
premature.
Yes.
All right. So we before I let you go, finally, of course, we are moving gently. The states are coming in, and you're seeing the results being announced. Is it against your calculation and expectations, or were you surprised at times when some of these results were reeled out?
You know, every political party that have candidates must have agents that give them report of what is happening at the polling units. So all of us will not shy away from the truth, that we are aware of what it is before we came here. Every one of us here is informed by his agent the stand of his political party at each polling unit. So there is no surprise in this thing. We are satisfied, and that is why we are all here. And I believe if anybody had any complaint, we would have registered it before we came here.
All right. Well, thank you so very much. I understand that you quickly want to, have prayers as well before coming back into this hall. For the past almost 2 hours, we've been reading out results from different parts of the country, and we expect to see more. While I was just coming to the studio, this part of the National Collation Center, we saw Jigawa and some others coming in as well. We saw Jigawa coming into the National Collation Center. Hopefully we'll get that as well as other states when we resume. I've had Yusuf Dantale, National Chairman, APM, and the National Secretary in the Interparty Advisory Council, IPAC, as well as Mohamed Lawal Nalado, National Chairman, Accord Party. Thank you very much, because I had to drag you here to quickly, respond to some questions that were asked in the gallery. And of course, in the course of this, I must crave your indulgence that I might still pull you out again. Thank you very much.
Problem.
So let's return to our main studios, where Cyril Stober has been orchestrating everything. From here, we are just, while they are collating, we are collating along, and we hope that we give you the very best from this end. Cyril.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Fizo. Thank you.
Those received by President Muhammadu Buhari include Senator-elect Nasiru Sani Zangon Daura, House of Representatives Member-elect for Daura, Sandamu, Mai Adwa Federal Constituency, Aminu Jamo, and the APC National Legal Advisor Ahmed El Marzouk. President Buhari, who congratulated them for winning the elections, however, said at all times they should remain grateful, show respect to the voters, and make them feel important. He said depending on their attitude while in office, the electorate will always wait in ambush for them in the next election to either keep or send them packing. The National Legal Advisor of the APC, Ahmed El Marzouk, who led the elected representatives, informed the president that a good showing of the party was owed largely to progress recorded in the senatorial zone under the Buhari presidency.
The success story mainly here is the achievements and the developmental strides that Mr. President had recorded in especially the Daura zone and the Katsina state generally. The people of Daura are very grateful to Mr. President for making the masses here to feel the impact of government in as far as their lives is concerned. So also the achievement recorded by His Excellency Right Honorable Aminu Bello Masari, the governor, all over the state, has also informed the decision of the people to vote again the ruling APC.
We are not going to rest on our oars. We have another round of elections to go. They are just as important as this first one.
The assurance I would give is that I will give them a good representation. As a lawmaker, whatever is progressive for my people, we will pursue it with all vigor.
During the visit, they presented copies of the results to the president, who received them full of appreciation. From Daura, Katsina State, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Well, what you just saw there was a report on how President Buhari received members who won their elections in his part of the country. They went up to the president, and as you heard, they expressed appreciation to him for what they describe as all the support and all the provisions he's made to ensure that 2020, that was what we showed you. But before then, we were at the National Collation Center, where Fisayo Ogunfi further explored what had been happening both within the Collation Center regarding the parties, the walkout, and the results that have been coming in. As you well know, the Collation Center has taken a short break. The INEC chairman announced that there'll be 8 o'clock. So once they come back at 8, we'll go back to the National Collation Center. Hopefully other... Just ahead, it will be the international news coming to you from NTA International. So stay with us. After the news, after the news at 7 o'clock, we will return to the Collation Center at about 8 o'clock, hopefully. Then be back at 7.
Although social media as a channel of communication is inherently harmless, it becomes harmful and damaging when used without discretion and thoughtfulness. Bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
get to see the way Dele Babadu pulls this. Don't forget to send in your messages.
There's a difference between picking, child, and issue. That's really cool. That is you can do more with less people.
If we have a better way of addressing these issues, taking care of...
Congratulations, you were able to sign Timo Werner from RB Leipzig.
So you take water before your workout.
People have used their phone, using TikTok to do that.
Should I go for test? Should I...
A lot of people don't even have resources.
You can't even hear the sound of a cockroach.
I'm Cecil, and this is the Medley Show on NTA.
We live in a society with many concerns. Among them are the issues of health and beauty. Thinking of how to keep our skin smooth and without imperfection. You may wonder, despite applying the most expensive and quality skincare products, your skin still doesn't feel or look the way you want. The question is, have you bothered to check your diet? Glad to have you join us on the program Better Eat Today on the network service of the NTA. My name is Yetunde Jayola. On today's episode, we will be talking about the skin and our nutrition. Let's go on the streets to get people's opinion, and from there, our dietitian will tell us more about the importance of a good nutrition on the skin.
When you take a lot of fruit and water, I think it replenishes your skin.
The food we eat have much impact on our skin. There's need for us to eat more of fruit and nuts, especially cashew nuts, cucumber. All those, they have greater impact to replenish the skin.
Thanks for staying tuned. The program is Better Eat Today on the network service of the NTA. Today I have with me Rosevaline Obia, a registered dietitian nutritionist. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Today on the program we will be talking about the skin and our nutrition. The skin is the largest organ of our body and the first thing anybody sees in a person. How can we take care of our skin in order to keep it healthy?
The truth about the skin is, before anyone knows who you are, they look at you. In fact, people call it the physical appearance. But remember that it's not just about what we are seeing outwardly. The skin comes in layers. So it's either with inner part of it or the outward part of it. Now, if you look at the skin, I liken taking care of the skin to someone taking an exams. You go for an exams, you're writing an exams. When you do not prepare well for your exams, it's either you're tilting towards a failure or whatever comes with it comes with it. You know, some people will say exam is not the true test of knowledge, but there's something that will certainly show you that certainly you have done well. That is how it is for the skin. Now, how do you take care of your skin? You know, understanding what nutrition is the first step. What is nutrition and what is adequate diet? understanding the place of food and its importance when it comes to adequate diet. And we already know that adequate diet is a combination of diet that contains the macro and the micro, where you have the macro which are the large molecular food substances and food with big properties. Now you talk about carbohydrates, protein, fats, they are the energy givers. Then you talk about the micronutrients, which are vitamins, minerals, not excluding water, because water is a single nutrient on its own that has so many properties. Ability to understand what is in each of these nutrients and the proportion at which they are given to the body according to the person's body requirements. That is one of the things that tilts towards a healthy skin. Now, understand the principles involved in this adequate nutrition. Now, so many people, when it comes to skin welfare, I put it that way because it's something that you have to take into serious cognizance. The tilt towards some particular type of food. It has been a huge challenge. Now, because you are thinking, you're talking about the skin, therefore you are going with the fruits and vegetables alone. Forgetting that those properties you are yearning for in your fruits and vegetables are also in your carbohydrate and protein foods. So in other words, there's an interlink in our foods, the foods we consume. Okay, I give an instance. Someone will say egg is a proteinous food. Egg can also give zinc. Egg contains sodium. Egg contains, fats and oil. That means there are some minerals you can get from egg. Egg has some fat-soluble vitamins in them. It's also a food you can feed the skin with. You can feed the skin with even your rice, sauced with your vegetables, and how you consume your meals. The most important thing to note is these particular foods you are consuming, are you abusing them again? Because when you try to feast on a particular type of nutrient, you're tilting towards having nutrient deficiencies. Because you're saying, I want to consume only pawpaw alone. There's an aftermath of it. If you consume it in excess, this is what it causes for you. If you consume it appropriately, in moderation, this is what it yields for you. And when you consume it, how do you consume them? How do you utilize that pawpaw? Must it be in juicy form? That's another thing to note. What particular form of food are you consuming? Is it in the solid? Is it in the liquid? So if we understand nutrition, adequate nutrition, understand the principles involved in them regarding our skin, and we eat healthy accordingly, just following the instructions involved, we will get a healthy skin. Because the moment we don't do that, we are either going to be undernourished or overnourished, because these are the two consequences of not getting it right. Undernutrition, you see that the person is beginning to become skinny, there's a wasting somewhere, the person is beginning to have discoloration of this, skin, dry, there's so much loss somewhere. But overnutrition, there's an obesity, of course. All of these things are effects to the skin. They are also altering the growth of the skin.
So talking about the pawpaw, I heard someone saying when you take a lot of pawpaw, it has a way of toning your skin, that is making your skin fairer. Is it true or false?
We always want to believe we have knowledge of some particular thing because we are exposed, especially in this digital world. Pawpaw, yes, has a property called papain. And papain is a very important property of pawpaw that has its good use of. It helps in skin toning and prevents tanning. You cannot get one particular nutrient and say that nutrient is the solution to your problem. No, it's just like you have in drugs. In drugs, you have so many foods that they use in making a particular drug. So I can as well get my skin toning from other foods as well. It all depends on my understanding of it. I can decide to take apple and mix it up with my normal meal, and I check my skin is fresh because I'm not even a fan of pawpaw. I don't take pawpaw at all. So does it mean my skin is not being toned? And let's understand what is even this skin toning. It's ability to improve the color surface of your skin. already the skin has a special cell that, helps this coloring to get improved, which is the melanocytes. They produce melanin. Now, if they produce melanin, how do you help this production to, flow? It mustn't be purple. There are other fruits. There are other foods. There is pineapple, there is apple, there is avocado. So when you consume this purple now, because you want to tone your skin, it becomes your meal. It becomes a danger, because the aftermath effect of purple when you take it in excess is blisters. It can cause skin irritation. So at the end of the day, you may want to, get A and you're tilting towards B and C. If it works for you, purple, that is because this is what the property is. It's not certain that this is what purple does. You have fruit group, you have legume group, you have meat group, as many of them, cereals group. Understand there are 12 of them. Oh, in fruit groups, these are the fruits I can get. These are the starchy fruits I can get. In a vegetable group, you can still get your vitamin C from oranges. We have them, a lot of them in season now. We can go source them out. And ability to, excrete, clean our system. That removal of toxins, we are also toning our skin.
Healthy food that's good for the skin. Do we have some that are bad for the skin as well? That causes allergy?
Yes, we have. Everything about the human health and the nutrition is individualized. My allergy may not be your allergy. Like, I may have foods I react to. It does not generally mean it's the same food you react to. Like, I told you I don't take purple at all. I don't like it because when I see it, even while testing it, I'm already having this nausea. Nausea is the feeling of you're trying to throw up, but it's not coming forth. But that discomfort is there. So that is about purple for me. And even if I take it, that's how I'll be having itching too. So that's an allergy for me. And the more I keep doing that, I am also giving my mouth and everything discomfort. So that's an allergy. So mine is purple now. It may not be same with yours. So it's to understand those foods that our body, because there's something about allergy when it comes to our skin, it does not hide. It may not show itself outwardly, but inside. And it's dangerous to treat inside, because it will even have to take you to go, all these antibiotics and all of that. So the moment it starts from the inside, is the stomach line is beginning to, discomfort and all of that. So at that point, what did you do when you observe that this food is reacting to you? And your ability to understand it gives you a solution. Our ability to understand adequate nutrition can give us results of undernutrition or obesity. Now, in terms of undernutrition, we already know the person is beginning to waste, the muscles is wasting. There is the coloration of the skin, there is dry skin, the person is, some of my people say, the person is looking so pale. So, and when it comes to overnutrition now, there is so much stress now on the skin, in the sense that the change in hormones stretches the skin before the person begins to see stretch marks. That's for the overnutrition. It's a reaction, right? Because the person has overstressed, you have eaten more than the body can take. Of course, when you are overweight, there's food that the body fluid begins to retain itself somewhere. It gives room for the growth of bacteria and fungi. And when it does that, it's also a health challenge too. It can cause skin reaction. Those things can result to allergies as well. Thank God that nutrition is not just for the big man alone. It's for everybody. Understand the meals that you can afford and know how to build them. It all depends on how you consume them and how you prepare them and what you add. Your ingredients also builds up your food. So that means your allergy may even start from even the things you put, the onions, the crayfish, the maggi, all those seasonings. You want to, so I have a friend who said, until you perceive her food outside, it is not sweet for her. So that kind of mindset, you want people outside to perceive your food. but you don't understand that some of those things you are also adding to your meal can be detrimental to your health. It all depends on what you add. So all of these things can, build up allergies in us, but we may not know and we may not even understand it until later.
Major causes of unhealthy skin, because majority of people don't even know what causes skin irritation, skin dryness, and all sorts. What are the causes of unhealthy skin?
So many things can be the causes. Some medical conditions can lead to skin disease or disorder. Some can be caused by what we consume. Of course, diet is there. Poor hygiene, at times even stress. Yes, there's a time when we are overly stressed. Our weather condition can, the sun. There's some people who have this and that. Once they come out of the sun, they are looking interesting, so that they don't start feeling bad. But it's a sensitivity now. Now, there's million and one reasons to that. We in the medical field we always advise early detection. The ability to detect on time brings solution. When you are able to note which one is the cause. If you note your problem is from diet, then you start following your diet. You don't start waiting for, people to tell you, don't eat this, don't eat that. Then, especially in this dry season now, dehydration is something that is bound to happen to a lot of people. So we need to be, very careful about our fluid intake. Fluid intake is not always water alone. We can also make, if you're not good at taking ordinary water, you can spice up your water. Some people do it. They add lime into their water to dechlorize the water and become tasty for them. You drink. Your water can come from your fruits. The place of water sometimes I think is underemphasized. Why? Because people don't know that water is one of the major nutrients that we have in our diet. You cannot talk about the carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamins and minerals without water. In fact, water is on its own. But because we always mention it last, you always think it's paired with. It's on its own. It's a vital nutrient. And if we understand the importance of water, we know the impact it has on skin. Water is a vehicle that transports nutrients from the blood around the body. So certainly the skin needs to be fed with these nutrients. What is most important is what you take from your mouth down to the last part of digestion that passes down. That is what is most important, because that is what works for the body. Skin cares are there as second supplements to also, if this does not work, this works. But most importantly, note that without those foods, those skincare will not be. So even if they are herbs, as spices and herbs, some of them are medicinal that you consume. So we need to take care of our inside first. That's what is most important. Take care of who you are first inside. It is when you are healthy internally that you can see even and buy whatever you are buying externally. We as individuals, food is very important. It's either you are consuming food to build you up or to destroy you. So be conscious of what you take in. Be conscious of how you take care of yourself. Your health is more important to you than anything. And for your skin, be conscious of what you take and apply on your skin. Remember, any mark or scar left on the skin lives with the skin, even in old age. So you will now look for anti-aging, brother this, but the scar will remain there. And there's something you don't do about scars. You don't change scars from where they are. You always want to tell people the stories of how that thing came forth. So we need to be careful. Always note that your health is the wealth you have.
So much enlightenment that I've gained from today. Thanks so much for coming on the program.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Your skin is your billboard, so take good care of your skin. Let's go on a break. Better it continues shortly. You are still watching Better It Today on the network service of the NTA. Next on our lineup are tips on how to take care of our skin and skin types.
Of 5 ways to type skin and hair is recognized. Normal skin. Normal skin type is neither too oily or too dry. It is generally less reactive to external aggressors and very easy to maintain. The best ways to take care of normal skin are: make sure to moisturize your skin regularly, regardless of your skin type. Hydrated skin is healthy skin. Remove makeup before going to bed every night. Makeup can clog pores. Sleeping with clean skin is important for letting it breathe. Stay hydrated throughout the day to keep your skin at its best health. Dry skin type is often flaky, always has some sort of peeling, and can have a powdery look. It lacks hydration and feels tight on your face. Dry skin also leads to sensitivity of products. For instance, foaming face washes or exfoliating serums causing irritability on dry skin is quite common. Best ways to take care of dry skin are moisturizing the dry skin, twice a day being the recommended amount. Avoid the habit of taking long showers or hot showers. They can strip your skin of natural oils, causing dryness. Let your skin air dry after a shower. Use a humidifier in your house in order to seep some hydration into your skin. Oily skin. Oily skin is characterized by its greasiness throughout the face. This happens because of the overactivity of sebaceous glands, leading to excessive sebum oil production on the skin. Best ways to take care of oily skin are washing your skin with oil-absorbing cleansers and always following up with a moisturizer. Use lightweight products. Water-based, gel-based, and silicone-based products can help maintain your skin. A combination of skin is identified as having an oily T-zone and dry cheeks. This oiliness and dryness are a response to weather conditions, with the hot weather causing extreme oiliness and the dry season causing dryness. Best ways to take care of combination skin. Use a gentle cleanser so as to avoid overstimulating the larger pores present in your face. Keep your overall skincare purchases relatively oil-free. Sensitive skin is characterized by its reactions to products, foods, and environmental factors in a manner that is more persistent with constant triggers. Best ways to take care of sensitive skin are: consult a dermatologist to help figure out the right products with the right pH balance for the use on your skin. Avoid products with fragrances or dyes or any harsh ingredients for that matter. Alcoholic toners are an absolute no for sensitive skin. Take vitamin supplements to help strengthen your skin against irritants.
Understanding your skin type is one major way that will help you determine how to treat your skin. Next is the meal of the day. Wow, I have learned a lot about food and the nutrients they contain, which are good for the body, especially the ones that are essential for the skin. Always remember, a healthy and nutritious diet is a key to a healthy lifestyle. That's the size of our package this week. Till I come your way again next week, bye for now.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Stress is a normal physical response to an event that makes your nervous system feel threatened at the perception of danger, whether real or imagined, giving your body automatic mobilization process known as the fight, flight, or freeze response. This automobilization response, or stress, is designed to protect your body. When it is working well, it helps you stay focused, energetic, and alert. In an emergency, it spurs you into action to defend yourself. Stress, however, becomes worrisome when it is overwhelming. It can damage your health, your mood, your productivity, relationship, and even your quality of life. Stress is chiefly induced by environmental conditions or stimulus and emotional instability. Work-related stress is the second most commonly reported condition in the self-reported work-related illness. According to research results between 2011 and 2012, an estimated 428,000 workers suffered from work stress. Stress affects different people in different ways, but generally, the chemicals that are released by the body as a result of stress can build up over time and cause various mental and physical symptoms. These include irritability, anger, depression, anxiety, food cravings, lack of appetite, headaches, sleep difficulty, and the list is endless. How one handles one's stress depends on the causes and the symptoms, but it is imperative to note that once the pressure or threat has passed, your stress hormone level will usually return to normal.
There is a common saying that nothing good comes easy. Yes, the road to the top may be full of challenges, but you can overcome them by turning the stumbling blocks to stepping stones to your desired destination. A good number of Nigerian bakers who have crossed the hurdles are doing remarkably well in the industry because they already understand and apply this wisdom. This is Baker's World on the network service of the NTA. I am Funke Oyele. We're thrilled to have you join us.
We have a rich lineup for you this week on Baker's World. Our guest is a courageous male baker who left his banking career for baking. You'll get to know what informed his decision and more about him in our conversation segment. We'll be sharing with you a unique pureed strawberry cake recipe. Also, our artistic guest will create a zoo-themed cake for your viewing pleasure. Sure, you won't want to miss our gist of the week on Baker's Gist. Get set to enjoy all these and more on the show. Do keep watching. We'll be back soon. Jerome Onaivi is our guest today on Baker's World. Born on November 28, 1979, Jerome Onaivi hails from Edo State. In 2003, he obtained a degree in Agricultural Economics and Extension from the Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi, Benue State. Jerome also bagged a master's degree from Benue State University, Makurdi, in 2017. Jerome Onaivi is the Chief Executive Officer of Cakes That Rock in Abuja. He is married and blessed with 2 children. Join us as we chat with this articulate and industrious cake artist, Jerome Onaivi.
Today I am delighted to present our very first male baker on the show, Mr. Jerome Onaivi. You're welcome to Baker's World.
Thank you very much.
From banking to baking, what informed your decision to switch to the baking industry?
Yeah, I worked at the bank for a while there. When it was time to leave, yes, I left and, tried my hands on a couple of things. Then one day my wife, she told me, so why don't you go into full-time baking? And it was like light bulb. And I said, okay, that's fine, I'll do that. And I started commercial baking in 2012, yes, 2012, and reached out to my friends and family.
It is very rare, to find a young boy, learning to bake from his parents. But, tell us more about how your own passion started and you picked up baking and you still decide to be doing it till this point.
I started baking, say, to the end, maybe towards the end of my SS3, yeah, that should be 1998 or so. And that was because I always watched my mom and sisters bake, and I liked eating cake. And I said to myself, if I can do this, then I can get a big chunk instead of getting the small chunks I get, the small pieces they get to give us. I could easily go home, make a cake, ice it, and deliver in school. So all my friends and a good number of people in school then knew that I could bake.
How do you feel being in a female-dominated industry? Do you feel intimidated at all?
I actually feel indifferent. In fact, I actually feel blessed.
So you're facing how you've managed to overcome them.
For challenges, I like to look at them as constants in any business. You have to find a way to work over them or find a solution. Now, solution, what do we do? I would say, for instance, power, the situation of power, it's a very big challenge, but you have to overcome it. So we got a generator, and at least it's working for us.
So let's talk about the cake you're making today, the pureed strawberry cake. Strawberry, has water, especially when you puree it. Doesn't this affect the consistency of the cake? And then what kind of decoration should we expect on this cake?
Okay, today we're making a strawberry puree cake and with fresh strawberries. And the strawberry gives it a rich texture and also adds to the taste. So you discover that the cake is rich because strawberry is very good, rich in vitamins. And the cake will be moist because of the fluids from the strawberry. Also, it's something you can take with your tea in the morning. It's healthy. There's low sugar in it. We're all trying to move to the healthy side, so cut down on sugar. So there's less sugar in it, and anybody can enjoy it. It also has that sweet and a little bit sour taste because some parts of the strawberry.
So what type of decoration should we expect on this cake?
We are making a zoo-themed cake. And, at the end of the day, we're going to do some paint work on it, just to bring the outline of the zoo entrance. And if time permits, we'll do maybe a couple of animals, maybe 2 or 3 animals. We're going to mold them, live molding, and place them on our cake. It's going to be a wonderful cake.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's really been a pleasure having this chat with you.
Thank you very much.
That was our conversation with the CEO of Cakes That Rock, Mr. Jerome Onaivi. Well, you've heard it from him. Consistency, hard work, and timely delivery of his product. These are his business philosophies. We'll take Baker's Gist next.
Quite excited at this wonderful.
Welcome back to the Verdict 2023 studios of the Nigerian Television Authority. We took a short break just about the same time that the National Collation Center went on break, and we took you up to get a taste of the international news on our international channel. And at the time the National Collation Center took a break, the chairman informed us that the center would be back by 8 o'clock. Hopefully other states' results will be ready, and we'll see the scopes. That's and the recs of those states would bring in those results, and Nigerians can then begin to compute as announced from the authoritative source, and not bother so much about social media reports, which could either be authentic or not. Welcome back to the studios. We have just been joined by Dr. Adoyi Matthew Omali, a political analyst at the Bayes University, Abuja. Thanks for being with us.
Good evening, Cyril.
All right. Nick Dazang, the former Director of Voter Education of INEC, is still very much around. Nick, thanks for staying with us.
Thank you very much.
Right. We left off at the point where Fisaya Ogunfuyi, who is at the National Collation Center, had been talking to some other analysts and party members, party representatives, about the walkout staged by 2 parties. And that happened, and we were witness to other parties that remained at the Collation Center pledging that they were not part of the walkout and that they were going to go through with the collation. Well, Dr. Omali, yes, you saw those parties who laid complaints alluding to the fact that the results were not uploaded through the beavers at the polling units, and that was their grouse. And they called for a suspension of the collation until that was rectified. But a number of analysts have said, is it possible at this point in time to begin to upload results via the beavers? Some actually felt that if that was not done, then the whole process would have been compromised. Of course, the INEC chairman listened to them and gave his ruling. What do you see to all of this?
Wow. Yesterday, in the program here yesterday, we drew the attention to that lapse in the conduct of the election. Definitely, the Electoral Act stated that the elections results were supposed to have been uploaded directly from the polling units. And this has not been done. It casts a lot of shadow on the conduct of the election. But like I said yesterday, despite that problem, the elections have held. And it is only an advice to Nigerians to take whatever lapses we have seen and try to correct it in subsequent elections. The walkout itself, well, they have made their point. I saw Dino Melaye and the other people. They have made their point. They have drawn INEC's attention to the fact that some aspects of the Electoral Act has not been respected. And but saying that they should go back now and do that, I think, has been overtaken by events, if I understand what has happened. The results have been collected at the State Collation Center in most of the wards manually. And I don't see how the upload can be done at this stage. In as much as I, as a person, would have wished that the initial plan, as we saw in Osun and Ekiti, should have been stuck to and should have been carried out to the letter in this presidential election. I was discussing with the former director of INEC Voter Education, and he told me that, well, and I also heard the Festus Okoye, who said that there were glitches. But you see, what worries me is that these things have been test run and test run and test run for a very long time. And this type of glitch, to me, is a very, very surprising thing to me in this technology-driven world. But just like everybody is appealing, we cannot throw the baby and the bathwater at this stage. So my advice is that let us give INEC the benefit of doubt. Let them announce the result as it is. And if there are any issues, especially issues that border on the rules for the electoral process, I think there are enough mechanisms in the Electoral Act for redress. This redress can be sought at the courts, and I think that is the way to go. If we want to stick to rule of law, nobody has a right to take laws into their hands. So they had made their point. The INEC chairman has noted the points that have been raised, and we should allow the process to go the whole hog, and then if there are legal issues at the end of the day, I think we'll allow the courts to sort that out. But that is not to say that I, as a person, I have looked at all the issues surrounding the conduct of the elections. One of the areas that I had hoped when the issue of transmission of results was resolved and we all knew that the results were going to be transmitted from the polling unit, I had the confidence that if we do it that way, we are going to have a very credible and acceptable election. But I never foresaw this issue of a glitch. I never foresaw it, Cyril.
How do you respond to the other view that, yes, the results were not uploaded at the polling units via the beavers machines, but then the party agents were there at the collation and they moved through all the other stages of the collation. There were also party agents until the 5th stage, which is the National Collation Center. And that's where they were expressing this displeasure. People have asked, why would the agents not have raised those questions at those other stages before the National Collation Center? And that's one part of it. And the other is, what impact would the walkout have on the process? Yeah.
Okay, I will begin by answering the first. Definitely, even if there were complaints at the polling unit, you're not going to hear about it. I wouldn't want to believe that there were no complaints at the polling unit. I wouldn't want to believe that. Because where I voted, I complained. But the presiding officer said, well, they have challenges, they cannot just upload. They asked them to come to the Ward Collation Center. So there's nothing anybody can do at that level. I think the only opportunity now is, even at the Ward Collation Center, there will be no media people, there will be nobody. So except if you just want to disrupt the process, which is not acceptable. I think the collation at the federal level is open, and all the international media and everybody is there. So you can now draw attention to whatever hitches that have happened at the grassroots. I wouldn't want to believe that people didn't complain from the ward to the polling unit and then to the state. Definitely people would have complained, because everybody expected that the INEC result portal should have been activated and everybody had the results uploaded for everybody to follow it. I know that they set up a situation room and all the political parties were waiting to see what was going to happen. On the second question, you see, walkouts are always not the best option. Even at the level of United Nations or even at the level of other meetings. Once you state a walkout, yes, you have made your point, but it doesn't stop the process from going on. Yes, the walkout, yes, there is a big statement that you have made. But that does not in any way, because if you have the number of political parties and one or two walks out and the others are remaining, then just like if you refuse to sign the result sheet, that does not invalidate the results. Those who sign it, it makes it valid. So I don't think the walkout, yes, the walkout has made a statement, but it's not the way to go. It's not the way to go at all.
All right, Nick, you've commented extensively on this, but the INEC chairman said he would be ready to receive any evidence that the results that came out of those polling units and the ones that have been brought to the National Collation Center through all the other processes are not in tandem. And so in that case, there would be something to hold on to say, perhaps at any of those polling units, the agents there do not agree with the figures that have ended up here at the National Collation Center, but so far we have not heard any
discrepancy.
Yes, discrepancy to that. But the chairman said if there was any, he'd be glad to receive them and address them.
Yes, I think he was speaking in respect to the Ekiti results.
Yes.
Recall that the agent for the PDP alleged that there was overvoting in the presentation of the state collation officer for the presidential election for Ekiti State. And he cited some of the projections that were done at the center as reflecting what he was complaining about. But it turned out, much later from the presentation of the INEC chairman, that rather than overvoting, what happened was undervoting. And so he challenged the agent, to provide any information from the PU level up to the state level that supports or enforces his allegation. So I think it was just in respect of equity.
Yes.
But generally, you know, the process, even at the level of the PU to the other processes of collation, give agents the latitude to ventilate themselves, just as what is happening at the National Collation Center. They are free to make observations regarding the process. They are free to sign the result sheets or not to sign. But like we've said earlier on, their signing or not signing does not invalidate, you know, the results or the returns that are made. So, and two things are curious about what happened today. Yesterday, it was when this presentation for equity was made. And the agent for the PDP was asked by the annex chairman, after he had met, he wanted a clarification regarding bypass of the beavers. And a clarification was made. He said he was satisfied. So what happened between yesterday and today? Was it an afterthought? Was it that someone went back and went through the paper trail from all the polling units and saw that he was costing into defeat? These are questions we need to ask. But if I were there, and they have the largest number of agents on record of all the political parties contesting, all that they needed to do is to make sure that their agents did the needful. And the Electoral Act 2022 now gives powers to these agents to demand certain information from INEC officials. It wasn't like past. And in pursuance of that, INEC invited the political parties and said, look, we need to put you through, train your agents, do a train the trainers workshop for you, which they did. And they advised the political parties to cascade this training down to all their agents. That is from the national level to the PU level. And I was privileged to be at one of the engagements between INEC and the political parties in Uyo in November last year. I was privileged to be in that engagement where further training took place for senior officials and auditors of all the political parties. And there was a statement, you know, exhorting the political parties to train their party agents. And in fact, there was a follow-up meeting, engagement again between the commission and the political parties in respect of that, after that meeting in Uyo. So I'm surprised that rather than take advantage of this, the political parties are the ones shortchanging themselves by not putting in place agents. And I know that if you have agents and you train them, it is possible for you to have all the details that will give you an idea of the results even before they are officially returned by INEC. This happened in 2015 when former President Jonathan saw that the results reflected his defeat. He conceded even before the results were officially returned by Professor Atahiru Jega. So I expected that going forward from 2015 and all the facilities now available to the political parties and the new powers conferred on party agents by the Electoral Act 2022, that they would have taken advantage of them to arm themselves with relevant information regarding the process. You know, and these things are very easy because at the polling unit level, if you have an agent, the result is imputed into the result sheets, is carbonized in such a fashion that all the political parties are given tear-offs. And the original copy is kept by INEC, and then another copy given to the police, who are the lead agency in securing the environment for the conduct of the election. And the same process continues up to the national collation level. In fact, even at this level, by the time the chairman does all the computations before he makes the returns, he will invite the parties alphabetically that are contested to now go through and endorse the result. And like I said, they are free not to endorse. If they have reservations, they can decide not to endorse, but it does not detract from the fact that a return has been made.
All right.
Yes, I just wanted to add, you see, being an active player, you see that your party agent is in the polling unit does not guarantee that you cannot be shortchanged. I think the essence of the transmission, why the law was amended, because that's the trend in the past. In the past, it's not as if sometimes the polling unit is far from where the ward collation centers are situated. So between those two places, anything can happen. Even at the collation center, result sheets or sheets from even polling unit could be turned around. So to avoid all this, they say, look, once voting is concluded, in the presence of everybody there, upload this thing to a server. Let it be sealed. While you are preparing the manual aspect, the result is somewhere. Then let's see whether what you are bringing at the end of the day corresponds with what has been fed into the server. You know, and that didn't happen. So you are giving room for people to suspect, because in Nigeria we have conducted several elections in the past. And while all these electoral acts are being amended, is to address concerns that people have raised in the past. And then if we are going back again to that same process where that is open, that is vulnerable to manipulation, that is what people are just saying. Nobody is saying anything. And then on the issue of...
you see, you gloss over the fact that you don't, as a candidate, you don't nominate an agent that will go and frustrate or use his vantage position to negotiate or to compromise. It's your own duty now to nominate or appoint agents of integrity to protect your interests. But what we have seen is that some of the parties, like the lawyers will say, hardly brief. First of all, they don't even train them, and then they don't brief them. They don't even give them any allowance. And that's what makes them vulnerable. But if you appoint someone as an agent and you give him reasonable allowance, and you know he has integrity and is committed, why should he compromise you?
All right, all of this stemmed from the Ekiti results, which were presented yesterday. But ever since, some 8 more